So hello guys, welcome back to the Pepcoding. So in this video, we are going to discuss our next question, that is smallest substring of a string containing all the character of another strings. So basically in this question, we have given string 1 and string 2, right? And all the alphabet that are present into our strings are lowercase, okay? And we need to find a smallest substring of S1. So we need to find a smallest substring from S1 that containing all the characters from S2, okay? So that smallest substring contains all the characters of S2, and if no such a substring exists, then print blank string. Okay, so if it is not exist, then we need to print a blank string. So this type of two string that we have given, we need to find a substring into string 1. Okay, so this is a string 1 and this is a string 2. Okay, we need to find a smallest substring into S1, that means string 1, that contains all the characters from string 2. Okay, so for solving this question, we need a map, frequency map for both of the string. So firstly, we are storing the frequency of all the characters from string 2. So our frequency map 2 is this. Okay, frequency map 2. Let's say this is our map 2, and it contains all the characters for string 2. So A is 1 times, B for 2 times, C is also for 2 times, and D is for 1 time. Okay, now we are going to use again another frequency map for string 1. Okay, and we are using the acquire and release strategy here to solving this question. For solving this question, we need another one variable, that name is match count. Count. Okay, what is the work of match count? Okay, what is the work of match count? So match count represents that if we are acquiring these number of elements, if we are acquiring D for 1 time, B for 1 time, A for 1 time, then it says that if we are acquiring D, then we are going to increase our match count. So it matches the element from 1 to 2. So because of that, the elements are same in string 1 and string 2. We are going to increase our match count. The elements are matched. Okay, if for B, again we are going to increase. So we got two characters here. For A, we are going to increase our count, also count here. So we are saying that we got 3 match from string 1 and string 2. Okay, we got 3 matches. Now match count represent this. Now let's start with the acquire and release strategy here. So acquire pointer this, and this is the release pointer. Now from this point, let's remove this match count. For the first time, match count is 0, and it is come from dot. No one is there and match count is 0. Okay, now we need to acquire some elements, and after that our main strategy is acquire, work, and release. Okay, acquire, work, and release. So we are acquiring first element D for the first time. Is D is matched with, is this element is same from the string 2? Is string 1's D1 is same to the string 2's D1? Yes, it is. D1, that one contains how many number of times that character appears. So D1 here and D1 also here. So we are going to increase our count by 1, and it is increasing. It was increased by because of D's appear. Okay, after that we are acquiring some another element B1. Okay, B1. Now we are checking, is our HashMap 2, sorry, map 2, is our map 2 contains that B1? That means is our map, another map contains B? Yes, it is contains B. For the that in the second string, the B is comes for the 2 times. So B is repeated in the second map. So we are going to say increase the count, and it is increased because of B is appear. Okay, after that acquiring some another element, that is A for the first time. Now we are checking, is A is appeared into the second map or not? Yes, it is appeared, and its frequency is 1. So we are going to increase our match count. So it was increased because of A is appear, and A's frequency is also same. Now we are going to check for the E. Now we are putting that element into our map. Okay, but now we are going to check, Is this E is present into our second map? Is E is present into our string 2? No, E is as a character not present into our string 2. So basically, because of that, we are not going to increase our match count. Why? It is not present. Because it is not present, then we don't need to increase our match count here. Okay, after that, now we are acquiring C. Now C for the first time. Is C present into our string 2 or map 2? This is map 2 and this is map 1. Okay, is this C is present into our map 2? Yes. And how many number of times C is appear into that string? So it is appear for 2 times, and we got our C for the first time here. So increase the count of match count. So we got our one character also. Because of C, it was increased. Okay, now from this point to this point, we have a four number of match characters here that is appeared into our string 2. Okay, now again acquire one element. So B for the second time, B is appear for the second time. Now now we are again going to check with map 2. Map 1 is checking with map 2. What is B2? B for the second time is also present into string 2, that is map 2. Yes, B for the second time is also present into string 2 also and map 2 also. So we are going to increase our count, and it was increased because of B. Okay, so B's minimum requirement is fulfilled. Okay, B's minimum requirement is fulfilled by this. Now we are going to acquire another B here. Now B's count is B. Now we are going to check with map 2, where map 1 says that in my map B is appear for the 3 times. Okay, and map 2 says the your minimum requirement is 2. Because of that, we are not going to increase our match count. Why? Because from this string to this string, from D to B, we got B for 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And from this string to this string, we only want B for 2 times. So there is no other B here to match with that B. Okay, so because of that, we are not going to increase our match count. Okay, now at A, acquire A. So we are going to increase our A's count as 2. Now we are again going to check if A is present for the 2 times. A is present 2 times into our string 2. No, it is not present. So we are not going to increase our A's count, so match count. So now again B is appear. Again we are going to increase the B's count. Again B is for the 4th time. Now from this point to this point, we got B for the 4th time, and in this string B is for only 2 times. So at this position, because of that, we are not going to increase our match count. Now we have a D. Okay, D. Now increasing the count of D. Now we are again going to check with map map 2. Is this character is present for 2 times? No, its minimum requirement is 1, and it is overlapping its limit. Now because of that, because of its overlapping, we are not going to increase our match count. Now I acquire C. Now acquiring C and checking that with map 2. Map 1 says I have C for 2 times. Do you have the C for 2 times? Yes. And what is its maximum limit? So C's maximum limit is 2. Then we are going to increase our count by this, and it is increased by because of C. Okay. Now we have the same number of what we say we have the same number of characters present into our from this point to this point, that are also present into our string 2. Let's say again first. Okay, from this point to this point, we got all the characters that are present into our string 2. Let's say writing this substring from D to D first, after that B, A, E, C, B, A, B, D, C. So from these to these, we got all the characters that are present also into our string 2. So A is for 1 time, A is present here. B for 2 times, B's minimum requirement is 2 times. A's minimum requirement is 1 time. C's minimum requirement is 2 times. D's minimum requirement is 1 time. So A is present at the first time. A is present for the 2 times, so minimum requirement is 1, so it pass this. B's minimum requirement is 2, so B is present at 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, C's requirement is 2, so C is present for the 2 times. Okay, and D's requirement is only 1 times, and D is present also 2 times. So from this point to this point, we can say that we got a substring. It contains all the characters that are present into our substring, string 2. So whenever this condition is here, at at this point, we got our acquire activity completed. Our activity completed for the first time here. Acquire strategy is completed for the first time. Now working property. We are collecting that strings. What we are collecting here? We are collecting that strings first index and last index, and it got us because of we are going to use here acquire and release our I point here and j point here. Okay, because of that we got our I and j and our starting and ending index. Okay, so work is this. Now after doing this work, we need to release one element from our map. So releasing d from map, and let's remove d is for 2 times, so now d is for the 1 time. Now from this point to this point, again we can say that all the elements are present, uh, all the elements that are present into our string 2 is also in this substring. So again let's write it: b a t c b b a b d c. So it contains all the elements that are present into string 2. So A is present for 1 times, minimum requirement is 1, B is minimum requirement 2, C is minimum requirement 2, so C is also here, and D is minimum requirement 1 times, and D is also here. Okay, after that, after doing this work, we are going to store that starting index and ending index, and after that we are releasing one element from our map. So B is released here, so B is present for the 3 3b is present into our from this point to this point, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so again we got smaller substring from this substring. So again we have this a b d c. Okay, so it's smallest from these two, and we are going to store its starting and ending index. After that again we are going to release this. Okay, now we are releasing a, so age count is 2, again releasing that by -1. So 2's age count is 1, and its minimum requirement is also true. So we can say that from this point to this point we got another string, and it contains all the elements that are present into our string 2. Okay, a is present for first 1 time, a is also here, b for 2 times, b for 2 times, c for 2 times, c for 2 times, d for 1 time, d for 1 time. Okay, it contains all the elements. So let's remove this. Okay, after that releasing e. After releasing e from this map, there is nothing to going happen. We can also say that from this point to this point we have another step string that length is also smaller, that is c b d a b d c. So its length is smaller than this, and we can say that we got another smallest substring that contains all the elements that are present into our string 2. Okay, so updating the I and j from this point. Again, after that releasing C. At, at this point, our C is only 1 time. Okay, so from this point to this point, our we have C for only 1 time. Now our here count is decreased by 1, and it is decreased because of C. Okay, we are releasing C, and it is decreased. So at this point, from this point to this point only increases, after that decreases, so it is decreased by because of c is released. After that we need to acquire elements, so we are acquiring a. After acquiring a, we got a for 2 times, again a for 3 times. Now f for 1 times, but f is it is not present, so we are not going to increase our match count. Now b is for the 4 time, d for the second time, d again d for the third time, c for the second time. Again we got our c and its minimum requirement. Now it is true because we got our c here, so we are going to increase our c's count, and again increasing this. Okay, and it is increased because of c. Okay, after that this is the string that we got till now. Okay, after that we can say that from this point to this point, okay, this point we got another substring that contains all the elements that are present into our array, sorry, string 2. Okay, a is for one time, minimum requirement a is present in this substring is for the 3 times, b for only 2 times, so b is present for 4 times, c for c is present for 2 times minimum requirement and c is for the only 2 times, d for the only 1 time, but d is present here for the 3 times. So its length is more than this, so because of that we are not going to say that it is the smallest substring. Okay, after that we need to release b from this, so releasing b here, b's count is 3, again releasing, again b's count is 2, again releasing the element from this. Now we are releasing a's count is 2. Okay, after that releasing b here, okay, releasing b. At this point the minimum quantity of b is 2, and add from this point to this from this substring, in this substring b is only appear for the 1 time. So the condition is false, so our match count is 5 and it is decreased because of b is released. Okay, b is released, so again this is happen. After that at this point we need to acquire some elements, so we are acquiring a, that is 3, acquiring b, again because of acquiring b we got our minimum requirement count, again we are going to increase our count, and it is increased because of b, again our count is like this. Okay, so our match count is this. At this point we got our match count at this point. Okay, and now again we are at this point. What is when we are doing our work, main work, if our match count is equal to string's length, string 2's length. Okay, so again we got our one substring that contains all the elements that are present into our string 2. Okay, but it is not going to update the our answer because this is the smallest substring. Okay, and it is the biggest substring here, so we need to release d. So releasing d to releasing c. Now we are releasing c. Again our match count is decreases, and it is decreased because of c. Again we got decreases match count here. Again we need to acquire elements, so we are acquiring g for the first time, b for the third time, and a for the fourth time. Okay, now string is ended. Now this type of approach we are going to use here, and from this point to this point we didn't got any substring that contains all the characters, all the elements that are present into our string 2. So if you have any idea out about how to do code for this, so I recommend you to pause the video here and do the code by yourself. And I'm assuming that you are pause the video from here, and now we are going to start with the code from this point. Okay, so let's start with the code, and we are doing the code in Java. Okay, let me do full screen and increasing the font size. Okay, well, okay, at this point. Okay, firstly we need a two hash map. Okay, so hash map of character, okay, versus integer of map1. Okay, new hash map. Okay, after that another hash map, that is also character versus integer. Okay, map2, new hash map. Okay, okay, first thing first, we are going to create a frequency map for string 2 first. So traversing over the string 2 here, I is less than 2 dot length. Okay, after that I plus plus. Okay, finding the character char ch equals to str h2 dot char at I. Okay, I. Now we are checking that map2 dot put for that character, map2 dot get or default, get or default ch versus 0 plus 1. If it is already present, then it gives the ch the count for that correct character. If it is not, then it will say it is 0, and we are going to say +1 into that. Okay, after doing this, we are initializing our string length. Okay, string length. Okay, it is integer dot max val for the first time. Okay, max value. After that, we are going to uh, initializing the match count for the first time. It is 0 for the first time. So after that we are initializing the answer array that is contains only two elements. Okay, not an element, two elements. The first element takes starting index, second element takes the ending index. Okay, of the string. So we are traversing over the uh, first thing now, and j is also starting from 0. I is less than s1 dot length. Okay, and I plus plus. Okay, now we are finding a character here. So this character here is s1 dot char at I. Okay, s1 dot char at I. Here we are going to check with for the s2. Okay, now we are checking if our map2 dot contains key this ch, if this condition is true. Okay, after that we are going to check for the map1 map1 dot put what ch against that ch, map1 dot get or default what for that c, give the ch value, and if it is not present, then say it as a 0. Okay, now we are checking for the map1 dot get that ch. Okay, if it is less than equals to map2 dot get that ch. If it is less than, then we are saying that increase the match count 1. Okay, after doing this, after doing this we are going to check is our match count is equals to h2 dot length, h2 dot length. If this condition is true, then we are finding a character, another character, that is chj, that is s1 dot char at j. Yes, it is present at the jth index. Okay, after that we are saying that if map1 dot contains key, if contains key this character, if it is not present, then we are not going to do anything. If it is present, then we are saying map1 map1 dot get that chj. Okay, if it is less greater than map2 dot map2, okay, map2 dot get that map2 get or default. If it is present, then give that value chj. If it is not, then say that it is a 0. Okay, if we got this, then we are updating the value of that into our map1, that is map1 dot put what for that ch j. We are saying map1 dot get what dot get that ch j and decrease its frequency. Okay, in the else part, in the last part, we are updating our string length, that is I minus j plus 1. Okay, if it is less than string length, then updating that string length as this I minus j plus 1. Updating the string length, and at the first answer of 0 we are going to say it is I, and first answer frequency answer of 1 going to say it is a j. Okay, if these conditions uh, completed, then we are going to update our map1 dot put, that is for that chj we are going to decrease the value of map1 dot get that chj. If this is present, then decrease the value of that. After that we are checking with the this condition, map1 dot get what, that chj. Okay, if it is less than 0, then we are removing that, remove that chj from the map. After that we are decrementing our match count also. Okay, after that we are increasing our j's value. Okay, after doing all these things, what we are doing after this for loop end, this for loop ends. Okay, we are going to check if our answer 0 point is equals to frequency answer of one index, and the h2 dot length is not equals to 1, that means the st is empty. Okay, so we are saying that if return the empty string. If it is not, then we are returning the s1 dot substring of frequency answer of first position and frequency answer of zeroth position plus 1. Okay, so this line returns us that answer. So let's try to run it. So we got some error at point 19th line. Okay, 19th line, at the 19th line, okay, s1 not a1. Okay, let's check again. So we got our main answer. So it is the sample output for this input string. So let's try to submit it. Will it be pass all the test cases or not? So all the test cases are passed. So I hope you understand the question and the solution of this question. Thank you for watching.